Hi everybody, it is your boy Jack here with your girl
Danny.
Today in this video we are going to be doing a Podcastaway on episode 8 and 9 of Ghost Island. So yeah, let's dive into it.
Awesome. So we kind of start here and we get our little post-tribal update after Chris is gone. It's not a surprise for most people. Everyone's kind of like, cool, there can only be one dictator. Right now it's Dominic, so we're chilling, you know? But there's one person who's a little bit peeved, and that is Libby. She's not feeling her oats. She is upset because for the past 3 tribals, this girl has gotten her name written down. And why is that? She doesn't know.
Yeah, and it's like, the thing is though too, like Libby's been like, sort of like nobody really knows why Libby's such a threat. Like,
yeah,
we even talked about that last episode. And it's like, why? But like, she, like, it's sort of like a big moment where it's like, she realizes that like, oh, it's because like my association with Michael and stuff. And it's like, yeah. And like she's like, oh well, like I'm not trying to like be with him and like everything, but it's like she sort of is like.
Yeah, I think it's the combination of her relationship with Michael. She hasn't really rubbed people the wrong way per se. Like, she's not like a very abrasive personality. She's not really in your face, and like she's kind of like the Parvati, like, you know, like, yeah, she's cute, she's walking on the beach with a bikini, you know, she's making friends with people, and in some ways people won't see that as like a threat because like, oh, she's just being nice, but that's how you win the game. You're nice, people like you, and that's why it kind of puts you at a disadvantage like now when her name's written down 3 times in a row. So she's got to try to find a different way to kind of change your game up. So she's gonna think about that, and in the meantime we have other people strategically planning on the beach. We have like the 4 stack of Wendell, Dom, Donathan, and Laurel, which I actually kind of like.
I know, it's actually like a good mix. Like, you got like two Malolo, 2 Navidi, and like I like that. And I like how committed they are to sort of each other, and like that's something I'm really like supporting.
Yeah, same. I think they're actually pretty tight-knit. I like Dominic, obviously Team Dominic. And Wendell's hilarious. And I always like Laurel, and yeah, I really like all of them. Yeah. Like, I literally do like all of them. So I'm happy they're joined up. We'll see for how long, you know, like it could just be a trust cluster. It could be legit, we don't know. But we know that they're trying to solidify it because Wendell, I feel like he's a little bit anxious inside. Yeah. Because he's like, Laurel, are we 100%? And Laurel's like, yeah, buddy, you've asked me this so many times. But he's like, no, I gotta make sure, are we 100%? And she's like, yes, but it was for good reason because he was making sure, because he told her about his idol. So now she knows, I know, spoiler alert, now she knows how much power those 2 guys have on her alliance. And so, in a way, she's probably happy, but she's also like, why was I left in the dark again? You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Which I understand, but like, I mean, he did tell her.
Yeah. And like, to be honest, I think, you know, that definitely shows a sign of trust and everything, and I think that is just sort of who Wendell is. Like last episode I talked a bit about how Wendell had like his whole Instagram post about how like during the whole like peace treaty negotiation between Wendell and like Chris, or not when Chris and Dominic and everything, and him sort of mediating there, that was sort of his desk where he'd make like little trinkets and stuff, and it's like, it just sort of like continues on to the fact that like him being like, are you sure about this, and him showing her the idol, it sort of fortifies the idea of him like having such a great importance on trust in this game. And I like that. That's what I like about Wendell. He I think he can put a lot of trust into people if like, as long as he can feel that like he can guarantee that.
Yeah, I think he's really about trust. The only thing I'm worried about him moving forward is that his like wanting trust so much can be perceived as paranoia, which will like hurt him in the long run. But for now, I'm glad he has his little trust cluster. I hope it works out for him, and I hope Laurel doesn't feel scared that she's like kind of, well, but the thing is, I get it because she probably is like 3rd in or 4th, you know, she's bottom rung. Like Dom and Wendell are clear too, but she also has her ride or die. Yeah. So she should feel safe. She should feel secure. So I kind of like them as a 4. So that's good. So that's our post-tribal kind of rundown, and we move right into reward, which I actually like this challenge a lot. It was fun. Do you want to explain it a bit?
Sure, why not? So the reward challenge was like, it was awesome. It's like, it's this big twist on Survivor and everything, where you're like, instead of having like a pure team challenge where everybody's doing everything, it's more of like a relay type challenge where the tribe mates have to run, like one person has to run down the beach, like down the like dock and everything, up the beach to a slingshot and try to slingshot like these like blocks on this like pedestal thing, this like bench or whatever, and like take them down. Now, like mind you, each person has to like slingshot the slingshot.
Yes.
And like there was a whole strategy around that, and I really liked it.
Yeah, it was cool. I liked how the purple team like automatically they knew like, okay, Jonathan can't pull it. Like he couldn't even pull it back. Like everyone had to shoot once, right? So they let him do his thing, but they knew that Wendell was strong, they knew that Laurel was strong. So they kind of just was like, okay, this is what it's gonna be. Everyone do their thing once, and then we'll just kind of team out between the two of them. And between Wendell and Laurel, I'm pretty sure they're the only ones that got everything down. I think so too.
There may be like one person, but
yeah, but they were like the majority, 100%. Whereas the orange team took a lot longer to like copy that strategy because they had people who were not doing well, like Seb shot 2 shots. Like we had people who were not even close, like kind of wasting time on this other team.
And like part of me like goes back in my like Survivor mind to one of the challenges in Survivor All Stars, one of the first seasons I watched, where like you had the challenge with Boston Rob and everything, and they all had to like do the maze and everything, and like they had to like rotate the maze and stuff, like where basically it got to a point where everybody else would hop down just so Boston Rob could go through it because he would go through the quickest.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah,
where to get like the flags and everything, and they ended up being Mogo, the green tribe. Like it's sort of like that kind of challenge, and I like that because it's like a bit of that nostalgia, but changing up the challenge to like a new format, and I like that.
Yeah, me too. I agree. It was really fun to watch, and Laurel's, I guess Wendell's team, because he was the team captain.
Yeah, Laurel and Wendell.
Yeah, they're MVPs, I guess. Their team won, so they got to do their little Mexican fiesta with some margaritas, enchiladas, good times. So they got to go to the little thing, but before that, they had to pick who went to Ghost Island. And they didn't want to ruffle any feathers, so they decided to pull rocks. So who ended up going was Jenna, and she was like, okay, whatever, we're chilling. So she went, she was feeling fresh, she was okay. I think she was actually like, you know what, I'm okay with this individual game now. Like I heard there's advantages here, so like I'm ready to go, you know, she was feeling fresh. And then she goes there, and she hits the thing, and she gets her parchment, and what happens?
Goose egg.
Nothing. I felt so bad for her. She was actually like kind of ready to play, and I was like, yes girl, get it. Like I know you're not gonna like, you know, no, I'm gonna say a bad word. I know you're not gonna cop out like Kellen, who was like, I'll do it later, I don't know. So like I knew she was gonna play, so I was sad she didn't get the opportunity.
Yeah.
You know?
And it was like, come on. I like Jenna's like, we're starting to get a bit more information about her, and I'm liking that. And like it's interesting. Like it's sort of sad though, because it's like, come on, let's like feed that drama and everything, and feed that twist that this season's had. But it also sort of in a way like not having like that, like having like a twist or anything, it sort of helps the story move along, and like you get to learn a bit about Jenna and like what kind of player she is going to be potentially. I
agree. Yeah, I just like to see the drama, so I'm biased, but I however she didn't get anything, but you know, what can you do?
Angela, well, Michael ends up talking to Angela and is like, okay, listen, I know I'm down and out, like, this is, like, one of my times where I could be, like, Bad Felicia, that kind of thing. He, like, basically, he would, like, he's sort of on, like, the edge and everything of, like, getting voted out because he's a huge threat.
Of course.
But he was like, okay, well, Angela, you're sort of on the down and outs, too, here, and your alliance. Any chance we could, like, do something here, maybe get a Navidi out or something, backdoor Wendell, kind of thing. And then she's like, no. So she basically was like, okay, Mr. Michael, I'm going to go talk crap about you
to everyone.
To like, basically everybody.
Like it spreads.
Yeah, it was like it started off with like Angela. I think it was like Chelsea and Kellen, and like it sort of like spread from there.
I know, yeah, and everyone was like, "Oh, Michael's talking shit," and then really Michael was like, I mean, kind of, but not any more than anyone else playing the game. And he got painted as such like a bad guy. Yeah, a target, like the guy to get out next, like the new Chris, blah blah blah. So I was kind of like, oh, poor little 18-year-old Michael just trying to do his best. So this is where like the rumors start spreading. But then we get interrupted because we all get dragged to immunity. But it was actually like my favorite immunity challenge. Like I was waiting for a good old Survivor smorgasbord where they get to eat a bunch of food. Like, that's my favorite challenge. So I was living my truth, having fun. I wish there was more food. Remember when they had that wheel?
Yeah, like, and it was like the smoothie thing.
Yeah, oh my god, that was so freaking gross. Iconic. But like, that was so good because they had to oh, it was so good. But this was still good, you know, reenacted. So they started off eating, was it fish eyes? Two fish eyes? I
think it was fish eyes.
Yeah.
And then it was like larvae.
Yeah, 3 huge little bugs, like, ugh, so gross. And okay, we see Wendell did not even try to eat the fish eyes, which to be honest is tame. Fish eyes are tame, just saying. Like, you can get those at restaurants, like you know, the larvae that's alive, that's rough.
Yeah.
But like the eyes, like I would have definitely just swallowed those like they were like little leechies. You know?
Yeah, just like even swallow them whole, like just.
Yeah, exactly. He just didn't even try. He was like, no, and I was like, okay, whatever. Are you on Survivor or like what? Like, did you know this was gonna happen?
Yeah, but like as a Survivor fan too, like it's sort of like offensive.
That's what I'm saying.
Because it's like, dude, you're here. You're like Michael said it himself. Like, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. When are you not going to eat this? Like, come on.
Right. That's so right. No, I agree 100%. I'm just pissed, because like as a fan, I'm like, if I were on that show, inject me with like fish eyes. Like, I just want the experience.
You want like what is it, like budak or whatever, like the half developed duck egg, like from Palau.
Oh my
like,
god, I'm good.
I've always wanted to try that though too, to be honest.
Only if I was on the show. That's it. Only if I got like a cool million at the end. That's it. But yeah, I was kind of disappointed in that. But we do see a lot of like standout performances. You know, we get to see like Sebastian did pretty good, Dominic did pretty good, and who else did pretty good? Let me think here. Angela.
Angela was like scarfing that down, like no problem, no worries. Yeah. Like, it was like phenomenal.
It was actually very impressive. And I love how she was cocky about it too. Like, we see all these boys, like they win and they're like, oh, I'm so good. And she was like, I don't give a fuck. I'm so cocky. She was like, oh yeah, I'm so good.
She's like, being in the military, I got this. Like,
yeah, right? She wasn't even trying to hold back at all. I was like, girl, yes, get it. And that's our second out of 2 for 2 immunities won by females, individual. I mean. So yeah, this is good so far. Spoiler alert, we get 3 for 3 later, but we'll talk about that later. That's just a little spoiler for next time. But yeah, I was very proud of her. It was good. And it kind of helps because she was spewing a lot of shit earlier. You know?
Yeah.
So it kind of helps save her. So now when she's back on the beach, all the, you know, rumors that's been kind of rolling around, she doesn't get hit by any of them because she's safe.
Yeah.
Which is kind of nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, no one wants to talk to her because they're like, oh, you're safe, who cares? So Michael's pretty much in the hot seat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so basically what happens is like Dom was like trying to get like everybody to vote out Michael, and he's like, well, look, like Michael is a threat here, like, and like, you know, he brought the idea onto of like him potentially having an idol and everything, and wanting to split the votes, and like he was trying to pull in like Donathan and everything, and like trying to have that possibility of like, look, let's get the numbers on this, let's get him out, let's try to make it a blindside, so if he does have an idol, it stays in his pocket.
That's right. How sad.
So yeah.
And he does have an idol, and the idol he had stayed in the pocket. Well, Ozzy went home with an idol, so it's like cursed. So if that happened to him, that'd be double cursed and really bad. So we don't want that to happen. So Michael, on the other side of the beach, is trying to orchestrate this like Wendell blindside. But to be honest, he doesn't have much leverage because like people already have, like, his name's on everyone's lips right now. Everyone thinks he's a target. So like he's like, let's get out one of the biggest competitors right now that's well liked by everyone. It's not gonna work. Like, no. You know, like I don't know. I guess he's just trying whatever he could, but like,
it wasn't sticking.
It wasn't sticking, yeah. So we had those two kind of conflicting plans. We also had some of the girls, all the girls that still to this day I get confused, don't know their names because they're not ever on the screen, sorry. The Naviti girls, like Chelsea and Callan, Desiree, they're all still looking to get Libby out for some reason. I don't know if it's some catty BS or like they really think she's a target, but like I don't see it. Regardless, they're still thinking, okay, let's put some votes on Libby. Who knows who has an idol where, and I don't want Wendell to get out, so Libby's a good choice. So those are kind of like the ideas floating around pre-tribal, and then when we get to the tribal, it's pretty obvious what's going to go down, I think.
So it was pretty interesting, like the conversations they had and everything, but basically when it comes down to the brass tacks of everything, they go, they vote, and they do split the votes, the old Navidi and everything, between Libby and Michael, but Mr. Michael here has the fake Aussie idol that was just a stick in Survivor, I think, Fans versus Favorites.
Micronesia? I don't know.
Or, yeah, Micronesia.
Yeah.
Where it was just a stick, and then, which is now an idol. He uses that idol, idols out, negates 7 of the 4 votes. The other 4, yes, you gotta do that.
Yeah,
gotta clap it up. He ends up saving it himself, and Libby goes home with a vote of 4-0, which is awesome.
I know. I'm very we haven't seen. Well, maybe I can't even remember this season. Have we seen a successful idol play yet, or successful advantage play? Because I know that Dominic wasted his.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Have we?
No. Didn't Michael use his idol? Oh no, but that didn't work out. No. So
Michael slayed.
I think so, yeah. He's
especially 7 votes.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's good for him.
I was very when they're does that count? Michael, does that count? I was I was getting lit, you know? Right? I was oh my god, it was so good. I was so happy because I'm rooting for Michael, my 18-year-old bae. How are you here? You know what I'm saying? He is 18 years old. He is on the island with all those 30-year-old people who are supposed to have more life experience, all this shit, and he's the only one who can play an idol correctly. So I was happy. I was ecstatic. And Libby, to be honest, girl, yeah, you didn't make much of an impression on me, and not you're trying to make one on me, but I'm just saying.
She was I don't know, it was somewhat annoying because it was every episode it was Libby, Libby, and it's cool, but I don't know if we got to see the full perspective of her game, and that's something I wish we could have maybe seen.
Fair, but I don't miss her. Sorry. Bye, Libby. R.I.P. Libby. See you never. And that was pretty much that episode 8. Moving right along to episode 9, post-tribal. We have pretty much everyone was okay, Libby's gone, whatever. No one was really oh, Libby. But the next day, we have Desiree thinking about a new plan that's actually surprising, because right now Navidi has the numbers, right? But she's I want to do something crazy. I want to build up my resume. So she goes and talks to Malolo. She's I'm willing to flip. And I'm girl, no.
I know, it was crazy. She was she sort of sat down with the Malolos and was okay, remember how one of you possibly said at the last tribal that we're at the bottom of the alliance? Yeah, that's me. And she's well, why don't we just flip on the Malolo Cass did with everybody? And she flipped on, she was okay, let's do this, let's make this plan. And Laurel was hold the phone here, because I know you want to get Chelsea and Angela into this as well, but this seems a bit sketchy. Right,
yeah. But I don't blame her, because it does seem a bit sketchy.
Yeah.
Why, if you have the numbers, why would you go to the people that could literally get, you'd easily stay, 12 more days. That was quick math. 12 more days, and vote each one of them out, systematically, whatever. Why wouldn't you take that? It's just dumb. But maybe she doesn't trust her alliance. But whatever. Anyways, I feel she just stirred up a whole pot of whatever that could not have, that could have been avoided. But you know what? It's happening, and she's kind of Desiree. No, I just have so many negative feelings about it. But she's trying to play a game. Is it a good game? We will find out. We move swiftly on to reward, which I actually like this one too. It's kind of all encompassing. We have water. We have people locked up in cages. There's a sweet, really heavy puzzle, and it's random extra puzzle pieces to dupe people out.
Yeah, exactly.
It had everything, right?
It's a game-changing kind of challenge. I think they've had challenges similar to this, where it was people had to hop onto boats and stuff on platforms. But I like this challenge because it's obviously you have them in the cages. It's slightly scary because of that, and then you have the big puzzle pieces, and that's Survivor gold, like Survivor, like nostalgia there. And like it's not like a cube puzzle or anything. No, it's like it's a big like flat puzzle, and like I'm liking that. And I like how like they changed it up with like the decoy puzzles. Like that's how you do it. That's how you change the game there with putting some fake puzzle pieces. That's awesome.
I know. I think I'm actually rude because my favorite part about watching those heavy puzzles is watching them like so tired and they're like, oh, and then they find out there's decoys and they're like, oh, and they're so tired from like paddling and running, and I'm like singing at home eating chips like it's like my favorite part. Just like that makes me a bad person, doesn't it? But I don't know, I still like it. And anyways, Malolo, I mean it's not real Malolo, but the orange team pulls out the W, which never happens in the history of Survivor history. We never see a Malolo. I mean it's not really a real Malolo.
Yeah.
But it's the orange team, so I'm gonna call it a Malolo win because Jeff kind of did. So I'm very happy that the curse has been broken, you know?
Sorta, yeah.
Sort of. Yeah, that's true. I'm not going to give it the full, like, it's been broken
full
thing.
kind of credit, but, like, they won this challenge.
Yeah, that's right. It was Michael, Jenna, Chelsea, Kellen, and Sebastian all going on rewards. So they get to take a helicopter up to this, like, nice little, like, I don't know, area. It was cute. Yeah. And they had a picnic.
It was a scenic picnic.
It was a scenic picnic, and it was cute.
Yeah.
And this was Michael's time to try to, like, make good with people a little bit, you know? Just be like, hey, how you guys feeling about me? You like tried to vote me out 3 seconds ago, you know?
Yeah.
We'll get more to that later, because I forgot about Ghost Island.
Look at you forgetting about everything.
I know, I'm bad.
But yeah, well, like, obviously, like, it's a classic season thing, like, or, like, it's classic now at this point. They go to rocks.
Yeah.
I would love for them to do like a vote by majority kind of thing, not like okay, let's do majority here, that's it. Like maybe they change it up where it's like, okay, these people vote and see maybe if like people would be honest and see where their votes would lie. But yeah, so they picked rocks. Angela went to Ghost Island. She like bashed that urn. She pulled the she decided to play because she got the playing. She got 2 of 3 odds, just like Kellen did, because like as the game increases, they like want people to risk it for the biscuit. But she ended up losing her vote.
I know.
And it's like, no.
How do you mess up a 66% chance? Piss. But you know what? It's whatever. She tried. At least she tried.
Yeah, for sure.
So she got no vote. I was sad.
Yeah. I think that's like the first tribal where she didn't like vote formally to like get somebody out.
It's weird, she's just like, no vote. I was like, okay.
It's sort of weird seeing like the no votes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you're seeing it says no vote and it goes silent logo and it's like, aw, isn't that sad?
That is sad. I was sad for her because she was like on the top last week and now she was like, no vote. Spoiler alert, doesn't win immunity. Just chilling, you know? So it was like the highs and the lows of Survivor. But I mean, at least she did risk it for the biscuit.
Yeah.
She didn't get the biscuit, but she risked it. So for me, that's enough drama. So I felt good about it.
Yeah, I was like happy about that.
It was good. So that was her little trip at Ghost Island. Meanwhile, we have Michael's winning team who went on reward to the scenic picnic, and that is where he tried to make good with those people. He was like, you know, I'm a number, blah, blah, blah. And everyone's like, yeah, cool, cool, cool. But like inside they were like, meh. Yeah. He hasn't won over people yet because right now there hasn't been much ruckus, many cracks on the island, like throughout the tribe where he can kind of slip into, you know? People have been pretty copacetic thus far. Yeah. Wouldn't you say?
Oh, it's amazing how the Navidi are still somewhat strong there. And like, although there are like smaller little cracks that eventually as the game will go on will start to turn bigger and like more substantial. Mm-hmm. So far this season, like the cracks are like, they're pretty small, which is like phenomenal.
Right? So he's like kind of not finding any way to get anywhere. So they go back on the island. He's trying his hardest. But then he's just talking with Laurel and Donathan. Donathan's like, yo, you want to go look for an idol? And Michael's like, sure. But like inside he's like, I don't know if I really want to do this. But right now he doesn't have a choice. He needs to make bonds with people. He needs to hustle. So he's like, okay, Donathan, I'll come with you, whatever. Probably not going to find anything. They find the idol in a tree. It's glorious. But it's not a full idol.
It's half an idol.
Ta-da! It's the super idol, but only half of it.
Yeah, it was the super idol that Ty and Scott had from Survivor Ko Rong. And like I like that twist. That was a good twist where you got like the whole like you have to get like the two parts of the idol and everything, and the idol is underneath the shelter, and that was like a cool twist. I was like standing for that.
Me too.
I liked it too because it was just like the whole complicated moment where it was like Dominic like found the super idol and like the other half of it, and he's just like, why are there so many people here? Like they're like popping out of nowhere, and then he's like Navides or like Malolos, like come here and like guard me as I like find it and like tuck it in my crotch.
Right? That's so true. I liked how the OG Malolos stuck together and they helped him out. But now the negative side of that is that everyone knows he's an idol, right? Yeah. And he's working both sides kind of, right, with Dom and Wendell, and then also OG Malolo. So he's kind of like, his cards are very much on the table. So he kind of screwed himself, but he has an idol, so if he really did screw himself big time, he has protection. But now he has an idol, so it's good. It's very, but now like everyone knows, so I don't know.
How long is he gonna last?
Who knows? But I did like that they didn't give the other half to a different player, because we saw how that was a flop on Korong, so
yeah.
It went wrong.
And it's a bit more of a risk too, because now it's like, okay, he finds the one half of the idol, now he has to find the other half. It's a bit more of a journey, and I like that.
Yeah, I always like those ones where they're like, we found a clue to the hidden immunity idol. And everyone finds it's like, shit, come on. And they have to like go do something else, like go leave at night and pick it up somewhere. And they're like, what the hell?
Yeah.
But I always like those because it is more of a journey. So as the viewer, I'm always like, oh, this is fun. You know, this is some GTs.
I like how they're like trying to reinvent like the twist this season, and I think that's the thing I like about Ghost Island is that although it's a season with a bunch of twists and everything, they do it really well where it's not like, oh, we're making a medallion of power that we only use 4 times in like ever. Or like it's a super idol and it's like, well, sort of super awkward because it's like Ty didn't use it. And, like, there was somewhat build up for that.
I know, right? It was so awkward. He was just like,
no, I'm not going to use it.
Wow, okay, thanks.
Like, shocking.
That was funny. That was funny, though. I love seeing those clips back, and he's just like, no. LOL, sorry. But that was funny. It was good. I'm glad he has the idol. And then we also have his partner in crime, Laurel, talking to Dom about Desi's plans. So because before she was feeling skeptical about it, right? So she was kind of like, why is Desi doing this? And because Laurel is very close to Dom, she thought she would make him privy to the information. Yeah. And Dominic is like, what? Oh my God, this is crazy. So he now, obviously, him being an OG Navidi is like
why are people betraying us?
That's right. He shook to his very core. So he has that in his mind. And now the cracks are starting to form. But before we get too into that, they push us to immunity, and we have to wait for all the good drama. And the immunity challenge is an oldie, but it's good. It's one of those balancing the ball on the platform. I personally, not my fave, but you know, it's a classic. It's a classic. Like
what I want to see maybe was like an immunity challenge, just a physical one, like a water one or something, because I feel like it's been like what, 3 episodes since the merge, and it's like all the immunity challenges are like, no offense, but like I think they're a bit more like woman dominated challenges, like the balance challenges and everything. They're a lot more like looked at towards like women winning, and like that's the thing. It's like I'd like to see a physical challenge, and like I wouldn't like it's not like a gender thing where it's like okay, or like I want a guy to win or whatever. It's more like statistically looking at some of the statistics of challenges similar to it. More women have won, and like I'd want to see a physical challenge to see what would happen.
Yeah, I agree. Like the balancing challenges, we had 2 so far out of the 3 that have been coming up since individual immunity, and both female won. But I was surprised that a female won the eating competition. Yeah. Because that's more stereotypically a male gendered like competition that people win. So she slayed. She blew everyone out of the water. But I do agree. I want to see, you know which one I really want to see? One where they hug onto the pole.
Oh yeah.
At the top, and they slide down and shit when they. That was cool. I love that one. But we didn't get to see that one. We see another ball balancing one, which honestly, this one was a huge flop. Let me be real. Like, I mean, it's no fault to Jeff and all of them. They just it was a flop. Okay, 7 out of 11 people dropped in 2 minutes, and then it was down to like 3 people in the last round, right? So it's like Sebastian, and it was Chelsea and Kellen. Okay. Kellen drops the ball, and she is pissed. Like she was
like,
ugh, and I was like, same girl, to be honest. But she already won an individual immunity, and it was like the same kind of theme, the balancing, you know. So she had her time in the sun. Give it to someone else. You're a safe girl. Like no one, you haven't been on no one's agenda. Like,
and she's got that advantage too, like the
true. Oh my god, true.
Advantage.
She has an advantage. Okay, she has actually been on Desi's radar, so I shouldn't talk that much shit. But she's okay. She's fine. So she didn't win, and it ended up being Chelsea. And TBH, like, didn't know who this girl was before. I mean, I did, but she actually slayed. She looked like so uncomfortable the whole time. She's like literally like this. Yeah. But she actually didn't move. Her ball didn't move like 1 inch. So I was like, damn, bro, get it.
It was crazy.
Right?
And I was like happy for that. Like it was like cool. Like, and like honestly though too, it's like, is this like her second one, or is this her second like immunity?
Individual or?
Yeah, individual.
No, because it's only been 3, right? Kellen, Angela.
Oh yeah.
Chelsea.
Well, no, because it was the first one that she like got to like the final like 3 or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So like she is proving herself now a bit more as a physical competitor, which is like it can be a good thing and a bad thing. But like her like it's different with Survivor whether it's a girl or a guy. Like obviously, like if it's like Michael, it's like he's obviously looked at as a threat now. But with Chelsea, a bit more under the radar at the moment, which is interesting to see about.
It's weird, right?
How that is, but partially though too, it's just based off of who they're aligned with.
True. Right now, yeah, it's true. Chelsea and Kellen and the girls are very like I'm not scared, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not scared. Sorry, girls. So that's true. It's how they are on the beach as well as in the challenges. So we had Chelsea that won. Good for her. She's safe. No one even cared about voting her out anyways, so whatever. But she took the game into her own hands. So good for you, girl. We go back on the beach, and that's where the drama happens. You have Desi. Okay, so all this stuff happened, and Laurel told Dominic that Desi wanted to turn on the old Navidi, and rumors spread, and Kellen comes up to Desi, and she's like, so, I heard that you wanted to take me out. And then Desi's like, me? No. And that's when all the drama starts. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's like this. I love this. This is what I love about this episode. They really develop it well. They start at the beginning, do the whole like Desi like Navidi thing, planting that seed, and then it just skyrockets and it's like a beanstalk. The end of this episode, ironically, like Jack and the Beanstalk type thing, but like it was just epic because it's like this like epic like battle that's going on. Who said what said who, and like how they said what, and like it was just hilarious because it was like Desi was like, I didn't say that, and like Laurel was like, she did say that, and I have witnesses, and it was just.
And then Jonathan's like, me.
Yeah.
It was wild. Yeah, I think like from Desi confronting Laurel on the beach, like that was like so crazy. Like, and what Laurel said at Trouble was true. Desi did not come to have a conversation. Desi came to literally like attack her. She was like, why are you saying all this stuff about me? Blah, blah, blah. And then like she didn't let Laurel get a word in edgewise. So what is that a conversation? And then we go to Tribal, and the same thing happens where Laurel is trying to talk, and Desi's like, I'm only going to say this one time because I don't have time for conversation. I'm like, this is why you can't win the game. If you're not going to have like civil conversations with people, you're not going to go far, you know? Yeah,
and like we see with like basics, like basic psychology of like trust and like whether when somebody would be lying, and like in order for somebody to really build trust with you, it really matters about tone. Like if you're gonna act like how Desi was acting, where she was just like, this is how I'm saying it, I'm gonna be talking really fast, this is it, this is what I said, that's it, done. And then like basically just interrupt everybody, be like, no, I didn't say that, no, I didn't say that. It's like you're not building trust, or you're not doing like, you're not building relationships there. Ultimately what she failed to do was build a relationship and everything based off of like basically what she failed to do is being calm when she was making her statements. Because if she was calm and being like, this is what's going on, like
that's true. The way you lose an argument is you keep when you lose your cool. It's just like no one's gonna believe you when you don't converse. You don't want to have a conversation with people. Like you're saying, you're rushing. You're trying to shut things down. You're gonna people who want to rush and finish their conversation and say their piece and stop are the people who want to just stop talking because everything that comes out of their mouth is BS, you know?
Yeah.
And that was so obvious that everything she was saying was BS because you had her saying one thing and then you had Michael, Laurel, and Jonathan, and all these people saying, oh, well, that's not what you said. So who, like, even, she doesn't even have the majority. She's one, like, versus so many other people who are like, you're a liar. So she really didn't have, the cards were stacked against her because she kind of put herself in that predicament. And that's perfect for Michael, who has been trying to kind of make alliances and also kind of fly under the radar because he was going home next week, or last week. And so he was trying to kind of find his way back into the groove of the like whole kind of beach tribal thing and not get into the way of anyone else. And he kind of found a way to do that because Desi really helped him out.
Yeah, and it was like interesting too because Dominic was like, maybe like all the, like he sort of did pitch like the whole like possibility of like a guys alliance and everything. That was interesting. And like it was just overall like I think it's interesting seeing like how like chaotic everything was, yet how like calm everything was, and like I don't know, I just found it funny with like the chaos and everything. It was awesome. Yeah,
no, I agree. It was definitely entertaining, even though I kind of felt bad for Desi because it was just watching a sinking ship, you know, like, no, you're still going down. Like, it was just like, it was painful at times because I think by the end of like the tribal, like when they went to vote, like I think we both knew like she was done for because you can't recover from that social suicide. You know, no one's gonna believe your word, and in that game your word is gold. So she kind of screwed herself, and the votes showed that because she got like the majority. I think only 2 people voted not for her, Michael.
Well, she voted for Michael, and then Chelsea was like, okay, well, I'm going to vote for Michael as well. And yeah, so it was a 2 to like the rest of the votes, Michael. And yeah, like it was not shocking. Like, I don't know, like it was like, what was interesting to see is how many people would have believed her and like the implications that had. And that's the one thing I'd say is like, I was excited for was like coming into this vote, whether or not Navidi was going to be loyal to each other or what was going to happen. And, like, I was excited for that.
Yeah. I literally thought Navidi was going to go strong until Desi ruined it, like, literally at the beginning of the episode. So that kind of sucks because they did have a good thing going, but now it will be interesting to see a 4v4.
Yeah.
You know? Like, OG Malolo versus Navidi. So I am interested about that. So, in a way, it's good because we got drama this episode, and there'll definitely be drama to come.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So I think it was a good turnout. R.I.P. Desi, sorry. I will miss you because you're entertaining, but I mean, I never thought you were going to win. Sorry. The social skills were slightly lacking. I'm so shady. If anyone ever watches these, like, they're going to be like, this girl's such a biatch, but sorry.
Yeah. We gotta throw that shade at
That's
everybody.
Right.
And
we gotta throw the shade.
Yeah. But yeah, these 2 episodes were like good episodes, and I'm excited to see how it's going to develop and everything.
Yeah, I thought they were both very entertaining, especially after that Chris, like, kind of boring, because we all knew it was going to happen. So both of these episodes are very entertaining, and I'm also very excited to see what happens next. I know it will be full of drama, which I love.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much episodes 8 and 9 covered for you. Be sure to check out our past episodes somewhere down here if you want to catch up on episodes that you missed. And Jack also runs a little BB Can power rankings and kind of like
Rant and everything.
Yeah, everything. So
if you're interested in that, check it out down below. Also, as well, I'll put the last week's episode. Feel free to follow both of us with the like follow bar and everything. And besides that, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in a couple weeks for the next episode. And let us know your thoughts about this week. Who do you think is going to win the game and everything around that? That's right. Yeah, leave us a comment and we will answer it. And like, comment, share, subscribe, all the basic stuff. And yeah. That's it. Yeah, bye guys. Bye. Bye.